Hello.
Hello, guys.
So really happy to see you on this call. This one will be kind of special because we'll make a recap of the previous year and a couple of announcements on the next one. As always, here's me, Valery, who is product officer of Swisstronik, and
Yeah, and I'm Dennis. I'm the CTO of Swisstronik.
okay, so let's jump in. In the first place, we wanted to mention that 3 random participants of this call will get Swisstronik Choco NFT, so that may be a nice addition. And let's go to the 2024 recap. This was a huge year for us. Right now, the total amount of people who are supporting the project are more than 200,000, which is a lot. This is 8 times bigger than we had in 2023. We expect the same thing in the upcoming year. Hopefully, we have reached during the testnet period, we have reached more than 10 million transactions on chain, more than 100,000 votes, which is also really cool. We believe that's a huge amount of people who joined and tried to actually, build
Interact with
things,
the blockchain.
interact with the blockchain, yeah, and more than 6,000 ambassadors. Also, we have launched 2 NFT collections with total amount of around 20K people applying for them, even though there were just 1,500 items. And at this moment, as we have seen, the total circulating amount on these NFTs were around 50K of USD, which is a lot, we believe. Also, from this year, we started making regular calls with our community, which gave us a lot of insight because some of your questions really helped us find a new path of doing things and of understanding what you like and what you don't really appreciate in us. And also, we had more than 300 posts in media about us, which is much more than attention than we had before. And it cannot make us not make us happy. Regarding the product, we have finally launched the SDI, which is the centerpiece of the whole Swisstronik ecosystem. This is the tool which helps you verify identity or verify funds of the user, and it can be applicable both for companies who work with us and for users who want to have this specific tool to manage their personal data and to keep it as safe as possible. All of things were done. Specifically, several issuers were connected. It was made as convenient as possible in terms of cross-chain compatibility, also support for account abstraction, support of passkeys, and so on. The final thing of the year that have passed was actually adding zero knowledge functionality to the SDI, and it is almost finished, along with the ZK tokens. We've not talked a lot about them in the previous year, but I believe most of you have seen them on the roadmap and know what's that actually about, but I'll still give a brief introduction to them. This is a specific decentralized app where you'll be able to wrap any kind of your assets on our chain, thus making all the transactions publicly unseeable for other people. And it only works if you are verified with a Swisstronik digital identity, or these funds are also screened for anti-money laundering. We're not launching this thing publicly at this moment because we want SDI to go live and the mainnet to go live, because obviously the thing can really work only if the data is truly verified, or we may be subject to specific regulations in a bad way. So quite soon we'll open source the technology, and you'll be able to actually test it on the testnet, see how it works, consider some ways of applying it to your own solutions. But yeah, that's it. Also, there were a lot of minor updates and even major updates to the chain. And one important thing that we also want to mention here is that at this moment, like several days ago, it has started. We started performing audit of our chain and our solutions with Zelig. So at the time when the TGE comes, we will be a fully audited chain. I remember a lot of people asking about that in chat during our calls, and not only during our calls. So yeah, that's the thing that we will have, and we believe that Zelig is one of the best providers who could perform this activity for us.
I would also like to add that we're planning to have a chain upgrade pretty soon. We're preparing it, so we'll be bringing all the foundations of ZK technology needed for ZK SDI as well as ZK tokens on chain, and our validators should be aware that soon we'll also have the chain upgrade in conjunction with mainnet preparations, so you'd be able to test if your validator is ready for the mainnet.
Yeah. Also, I've seen a question on the chat that is just really connected to this slide. Are we going to implement ZK Snarks or ZK Starks? ZK Snarks.
Yeah, you can actually find the implementation on our GitHub. You can check it out already. I mean, the basis of our ZK technology. And yeah, check it out for yourself. Right now, not much of documentation is done, but it's on the way.
Yeah, also I see another question, but yeah, this one would be addressed later, I believe, during the later part of our discussion. So in terms of the community, we have also received about 100 grant applications from developers and teams. At this moment, 16 are chosen, and a bit more are coming. Hopefully, before the TGE will announce the last batch of the grants that we really like and we would like to have in our ecosystem. And after we will launch, gradually you'll see all these products added to the chain. And most of them were handpicked, and we believe they are the best of the best. So you'll all like it, and hopefully you'll like to use these products in your everyday life. Also, we have around 68 validators on our chain right now, which is fine. And regarding the validators part, in the following weeks, we will provide a document to the validators describing the process of starting the chain and giving them all the details about the way how we should do it. So highly likely we'll have another call with the validators. Maybe that would be a personal calls. Maybe that will be one group call. We've not decided yet. But surely everyone who is validating the chain should expect us to communicate with you in the following month. Also, regarding the partnerships, as I already told, we have added several issuers to the SDI, and much more are on the way. And also, we had several technical partnerships which helped us implement what we actually did. One of them was Hyperlane, who helped us build a cross-chain solution. And also, Secret Network is important for us because they helped us to work with the SGX-related compatibilities and everything related to the privacy. Also, we have signed several contracts with traditional finance companies that would be using our chain for asset tokenization. We also received several questions about the way how it works. So we will discuss it in the last section of our discussion. But yeah, let's wait until then. So let's jump to the 2025 roadmap and what to actually expect in this year. The first and foremost, the question that everyone was asking, TGE. TGE will happen in the first quarter of 2025. Highly likely it would be end of February or beginning of March. At this moment, we're just waiting for the final dates to give you the precise time. We're waiting for final dates from exchanges so that we'll have everything set up and we will not push the time frame anyhow. Our token is considered to be utility token in terms of Swiss FINMA classification, which actually is really fine for you as investors because there would be not too many obligations with the way how you are treating this token. This is the same type of token as Ethereum is or Bitcoin. We'll have the pre-launch on republic.com. What's really interesting here is that tokens would not be only accessible for people from most of the regions around the world, but also we'll have a specific on the site Reg D offering for US residents, which is also interesting, but it has a lot of specific limitations to the people who can be part of it. So you can review the regulations and see whether you apply for it or not. Also, highly likely we'll have another launchpad on the list, which we'll announce in a couple of weeks. Also, we'll have initial listings on 2 or 3 sexes. This is to be decided quite soon. And again, the dates and the exact exchanges will be mentioned in the following weeks, or maybe on the next call, which we'll have together. Because definitely when we'll have the final time frame, we'll have one final call to give you all the details and so on. However, I can warn you that it is a good idea to start registering on republic.com if you want to participate right now, because they have quite complicated compliance mechanisms, and you should just understand whether you're eligible for the sale or not, and whether you actually pass all the due diligence process. So regarding the products, there are 6 major milestones that we want to actually reach in the following year. The first one I already mentioned is ZK tokens beta release. That will happen quite soon. However, to make it really work and to make it public, we need to do several more things. The first one is SDI ZK for third parties, so that other parties that will be utilizing our services and also ZK tokens will be able to access it from anywhere, not only from our applications or somehow else.
Or our chain. So.
Yeah. So that they will be able to set it up on their websites, on their centralized apps, on chain, anywhere. In this way, they will be able to actually use the ZK tokens too. And also, we need to achieve this decentralization of issuers so that we would not be the ones who are adding or removing issuers from our chain, but they would be able to jump on just if they want to. And there would be some sort of mechanism which would be filtering them, removing them from the chain, and so on. This is one of the most interesting parts of our solution, I believe. So yeah, that's the big thing. Also, in terms of asset tokenization suits and all the use cases, as I have told, we have several contracts with traditional finance companies who tokenize assets with us. That will be the first use cases of the technology. At first, we are working with them piece by piece to actually understand what are the deep problems of asset tokenization process, what are the restrictions for specific regions, and not to just have some kind of technology that maybe will suit people. We want to have something that's applicable, and then other people will be able to replicate that. That's why we'll start with the use cases, and then we'll make it public. Hopefully that will happen before end of this year. Also, on the application part, there will be several things that you will be able to use. The first one will be beta of decentralized messenger. And also, we'll highly likely will have on-off ramp for the application, banking cards with some kind of partner, and compliant lending, so that it will have a bit of a lower rates, but that will happen because all identities are verified, and also all the money which would be circulating within these pools would be clean and clear because they're verified by IMO partners of us. Now let's jump to the questions and see what are you actually interested in. Okay, the first one: why there are no tutorials on how to use Swisstronik to tokenize? I struggled a bit when I first started off. And the second question is it Swisstronik free for tokenization, or do we have to pay? So actually, that's the thing that I described a bit before. At this moment, everything related to the tokenization part is not public in any way. We are working with several companies from different types of operations to set up the products that help them tokenize their assets. Specifically, it would be precious metals. It would be the technical products, specifically the hardware parts, and a bit more. When we'll have these things up and running, we'll share all the details, make the case studies, so that you will be able to actually replicate.
Provide some examples.
Yeah, of course. But I believe that we'll provide you with some materials on that in the following weeks. So yeah, stay updated. And the next question comes from Gabriel. How does Swisstronik support tax compliance for crypto transactions? At this moment, we do not have any specific tax solution for or that is somehow embedded within the SDI or the blockchain itself. However, at this moment we're in discussions with a couple of companies that actually perform all the tax calculations for the residents of European Union. And highly likely we will add them to the system so that you would be able, if you want, that would not be obligatory in any way. If you want, you would be able to calculate all the taxation related things within your account. However, it is also a nice thing that we discussed a couple of weeks ago, that maybe we'll use AI solution to calculate taxes for specific countries, because most of this data is quite open, and it's not complicated to do that automatically. However, it depends. From some point of view, it's even more safe, I would say, to work with data partners. The next couple of questions. What is the future outlook for Swisstronik based on what we see? Basically, I believe this question is about the way how we'll, both of these questions, is how we'll address the future challenges in terms of scalability, technical development, and just the basic thing, what will happen with us in a couple of years and why we're sure that we're good. Answer to this question would be quite simple, especially for the OGs who stayed with us for several years. When we started rolling out, there were no or almost no talks about compliance in the field, and only a couple of companies were doing something to actually provide this kind of features. Most of them were centralized, but at this moment we see several new projects which are trying to do something like us. And also we see a lot of really great companies that we're working with who can verify data on chain, who can verify identities on chain, who help bridge the solutions across different platforms. And that's actually the reason why we would be really bulletproof in the future, because we believe that our vision is quite strategic. From the start of this project, we were expecting to do something that would be valuable for people forever, or at least for some really long period of time, to build the product that will help them stay within their beloved Web3 space, even though the reality is changing and the governments are approaching. Everyone have their own take on the way how to regulate your assets, and we provide you the solution to that. So I believe that's the answer. The next question is, have you considered using artificial intelligence or machine learning to improve the platform's functionality, especially in the areas of security or analytics? And how does Swisstronik plan to compete with other privacy-focused platforms? What are the key advantages that will make your ecosystem unique? So to address the first question, the answer is yes. We are discussing how we can do that. One of the solutions that we wanted to integrate, I think we even mentioned it in a couple of calls earlier. This is the issuer that can verify all the personal data of the person using only artificial intelligence. So this is just a fully automated box that verifies your identity or your transactions. The only problem with this kind of solution is that from the regulatory point of view, this is not really viable in some countries. However, in several regions, it can work. And I think that this year we'll integrate them and we'll see where it goes. So you have an option to actually use the fully automated, humanless way of verifying your identity and that you're a real person. And the second part of this question, I believe that our big difference from other privacy-focused platforms is that we're not just offering privacy, but we're offering the privacy in a format where, from the point of view of the government, you are not violating the law somehow. And also, one more important thing to say here is that we are part of the DCC, which is founded by Secret Network and involves about 20 projects who are actually working on creating a different vision of the privacy-focused platforms, so that it's not the platforms for people who want to perform some kind of fraud and to make their transactions anonymous, to hide their money, not this kind of stuff, but to add additional layer of security for the computations, for transactions, and so on. Let's say in our case, if everything is verified, you can perform the private transaction. There's nothing bad in that. Because eventually, if something really bad happens, there is some way to understand who did the bad stuff. On the other side, if you want to build a product that even let's say the AI product, I think we're going to run an article on that. Maybe Dennis will comment.
Yeah, I'd like to comment that, well, basically the unique take is that, of course, we have privacy, but our privacy is compliant, as well as that we have the opportunity to run public transactions as well. So it's customizable as well. So it's a unique take, and it would allow us to provide future applications, for example, for AI solutions where you can run agents privately and process the data privately, as well as only allow those AI agents which are compliant and run by compliant businesses, or are used by verified persons. There are a lot of different approaches we can take, and a lot of different solutions we can offer to the field, I would say. So, yeah.
Okay. So the next question is about our plans for the 2025, and the way what were the most significant milestones that we achieved in 2024. So what was really important in 2024 from our point of view is that we actually found our market fit, that we finalized the centerpiece of the product, which is SDI, and that we found the first companies that will work with us to actually create something using our chain, both as clients and as grantees who really like what we're building, and they believe that they can do something really good on top of that. These things are the most important in 2024 from
2025.
No, 2024,
yeah.
because the people committed during that year. But in 2025, actually, there are several important things that we need to do. In the first place, this actually launched the blockchain, obviously, because this is always a big thing, and the way how you launch decides a lot the way how you'll perform further. But the biggest goal that we have for this year is to actually make our products as product friendly as possible, to add as much functionality to the market as we can, specifically in terms of SDI and in terms of ZK tokens, and also expand our base of clients. So basically the companies that are somehow utilizing the chain. Okay, the next one is how will you balance decentralization and transparency with regulations to ensure KYC user safety while keeping transactions private? Will FINMA or SEC access data? How will you comply with GDPR and AML in the European Union while protecting client data and maintaining decentralization? So to answer this question, we need to go back a little bit to the way how our architecture is done. You have the Swisstronik blockchain, which is actually managing the data here and there. And you have companies called issuers who are verifying this personal data. So when you are verifying your data using our chain and our solutions, you're not verifying it with us. You're verifying it with one of the issuers that you choose from the list that you believe is the best one in your personal perspective. And later on, after this issuer has verified your data, you just get a verification that doesn't really contain any kind of data, but this is just a token that you can present somewhere and showcase that, yes, you're verified, and here's the company that verified me, and here's the date when this verification would be now. So from our perspective, we are not planning to share any kind of personal data with anyone. However, when you're verifying data with some kind of issuer, and let's say you commit crime, and there is police order to actually disclose your data, and that police order is sent to the issuer who was verifying you, highly likely they can show this data to FINMA or to SEC so that they would be able to access that. However, it's important to mention that it can happen only in case when something fraudulent have happened, because the system itself is as decentralized as possible, and doesn't really need to disclose the data on an everyday basis to any kind of regulator, which is the biggest and the fanciest part, we believe. We comply with GDPR because we do not handle any kind of your data at all.
No, we don't have any data to store and to begin with.
Yeah, and that's the important part here. So our take on this is that we made private everything that can potentially be made private, so that, let's say, everything that's happening on Swisstronik chain contains some things that may be interesting for you, let's say your transactions or anything else, but it is not disclosed anyhow. However, from the point of view of the regulators, all the funds that are circulating within the ecosystem are clean and clear because they were screened for anti-money laundering. And all the users who were using these screened funds are also verified and they're fine to be within the system. That's our take. The next one, in this memes hype cycle, how's Swisstronik going to execute their strategy and bring more retailers to their network? Why don't you guys try to get more spotlight by participating in programs like MVB by Binance Labs, or likewise investment programs for tier one success or investors? So our strategy on this is to actually get more market exposure, get more partnerships, specifically with the companies in our field and out of that. And maybe we'll participate in some kind of the accelerator programs. However, we are not really sure that it will help us to increase the amount of people in our network. At this moment, we are mostly concentrating on partnerships. I believe that's the answer. Because, yeah, acceleration programs really help you in the beginning of your journey, but we are not there already, and that's the thing. Okay, this was a really interesting question. The next one. Recently, oversight of crypto activities in Indonesia shifted from Bapepti to OGK, leading to the listing of several assets. Could this be linked to Swisstronik solutions for compliance and regulatory adherence for future crypto assets? And the second part is, additionally, Swisstronik recently referenced JP Morgan's vision. Do you think this has a significant impact on the Swisstronik project? To answer the first part of the question, I believe that Indonesia right now is undergoing the same process that some of the countries have already undergone. Some are in the process and some will undergo quite soon. This is the process of changing the perspective of the way how the tokens are envisioned and the way how the data for everything related to the crypto assets is being regulated. Let's say the new regulator wants to get more personal data about the people who are purchasing or selling assets, the way how they treat them, and also they have different approach to the companies that are issuing tokens. Highly likely that will affect all the regions, as I said before. And actually, yes, Swisstronik is the company that can help manage that with the biggest space for the privacy of the people who are doing that, and giving a lot of convenience to the way how these things would be implemented, especially on the cross-government level. Because at this moment, while you have these frameworks only in several parts of the world, it's already becoming kind of complicated. But when you have this implemented everywhere, the process of sending tokens from one country to another would be a mess. You'll see that. Because even in the banking sphere, when you're making transactions, let's say from England to, I don't know, to let's say to Indonesia, you have several banks in the middle between your bank and the recipient bank who are managing these transactions, several companies that are screening these transactions. The same will happen to crypto, and having some unified tool that can manage these complications is a great stuff. And to address the second part of this question regarding the JP Morgan's vision, actually, I wanted to publish that in the first place because I believe this article really proves us right. That was the thing. And their vision is actually telling us about this kind of future. And it's fine. And I just want to make a small remark here that even right now in the US, we see that the process of adopting crypto would not be as complicated as it was in the previous 4 years, but there would still be a lot of verifications and screenings and this kind of stuff on the way. So yeah. What kind of incredible motivation to have to keep this project moving forward. I can tell that if you just really like what you're doing, and if you believe in the idea that happened to be in your and your co-founder's mind, you're fine. You manage that. That's the thing.
I would also like to add that the support from our community, of course, goes a long way and helps us to actually continue and move forward and build new great things.
That's true. That's true. And even discussions with the people on some meetups offline, we're always really adding a lot of feeling that we're doing something important, and that your questions are becoming more and more specific,
In depth, I would say.
in depth. Yeah, that's really great. Only a few wallets are allocated rewards, less than 5% of the wallets, and some kind of amount of total supply. It's really too small compared to those who have participated in expectations. This greatly affects the community factor when 95% of the participants in a few months don't receive any minimum SWTR. What do you and the team think about this issue? Actually, more activities are on the way that will let you somehow tap into the token. However, we believe that adding token to the markets should be done in a quite gradual way because we want to last here for a long time and have everything relatively stable. That's our goal. That's why we're taking the slow but steady path. And what I think this is the last question. What are the marketing strategies for post TGE? I think to address this question, we should not talk only about marketing because that's not the only part for the project to grow, but about our overall strategic goals themselves. So our goals would be to develop the product, to attract more clients using our networking capabilities and also some good old direct sales. And of course, we would be mostly focused on partnering huge ecosystems, making us compatible with them so that more people will be able to utilize our services. And last but definitely not the least, is that the products that will be launched by the people who are getting grants from us would be promoted using our networks, and we will try our best to help them succeed. And these products would definitely help us grow the community. Okay, so I believe that's all. And we can jump to the questions from
let's first answer the question from YouTube and Twitter, because I think these are the simple ones. I would say that based on research, Swisstronik is a blockchain the developer can build with. My question is, does Swisstronik support NFT deployment? Yes, it does. And you can use the same NFT contracts that you use on other UVM chains as Solidity, as Ethereum using Solidity or Base. And so you can also make your NFTs private. Check out on GitHub, there is a Swisstronik tutorials repo as well as some examples. So we have actually quite a lot of interesting things to offer in terms of NFTs. Yeah, and let's proceed to other questions.
Okay. So Swisstronik have achieved significant milestones in 2024. Could you share more details about how the upcoming 2025 deliverables will enhance your experience, especially in areas like wallet functionality and decentralized app development? So let's say even regarding the SDI, some people who participate in testnet 2.0 have seen the demo version of the product. However, right now you cannot do it, you cannot test it. So one of the first deliverables that we will provide to you would be the demo version of the new SDI with updated interface, and which would be fully accessible and open source. But regarding the wallet, and I've seen the ask about this question a bit. I've seen another question of this type a bit lower, whether we are concentrating on the wallet right now or not. And to answer that, yes, we are. But right now, we need to finalize everything on the chains part until we launch the chain itself, and then we'll jump back to the wallet. Regarding the web wallet, which is right now inactive, we just want to say that
We're working on
we
it.
are working on it. We have a huge discussion with Google about it, and it's quite minor, I would say. So don't worry. This thing is fine. Okay. Let's go next. Can you please repeat what are the new features are coming with the upgrade version?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is it's the basis, the foundation for our future ZK works, I would say. It would bring the ZK, I would say, version of your verifications, and you'll be able to convert your old verifications into the new format, as well as issue new ones using the V2 format, and also some upgrades related to, I would say, compatibility and mainnet preparations. Basically, yeah, we're finishing up before the mainnet.
Okay, so I have a question from Frankie. So has the grant application ended? No, it has not ended, and actually it will never end. It will be there. I don't know. Maybe one day it will end, but not in the foreseeable future. You can just go to the grants page and apply your product. Just the only point that I want to put emphasis here on is that highly likely no new applications would be accepted before the TGE, because we already have a huge batch that we are looking at right now. So we may just not have enough time to review our application. However, if you'll do that, we will try to do it in the first following weeks after the.
I see the question related to ZK tokens on ZK VM or EVM. I would say that ZK tokens will be working on our infrastructure, and I mean it's a ZK solution that we are building, so it would be our EVM, and yeah, so it would be utilizing the ZK functionality of Swisstronik. And of course, you can always check out the develop branch of our GitHub repo and see for yourself how it works.
Yep. So I see a couple of questions regarding the tokens on the testnet. From the look of things, TG is mostly likely first quarter of 2025. Does it mean that rewards for phase 2 ambassador program will not be calculated for TG, since the phase will continue post TG as this is season 3? And then what about testnet users? Is it calculated TG? The best way to get answers to these questions is to talk to our community managers, especially about the ambassador program, because I don't want to give you the timings that I don't really know. However, all the tokens would be allocated to your wallets and would be there at the moment when the mainnet is actually launched at the token generation event. So we'll finalize all the lists with the people who have somehow received the tokens during the testnet with their wallets, and that would be the case. During 2023, Leo, that's a really bad thing. During 2023, I got scammed a few times, racks, exit scams, etc. How can investors be sure that this will not be similar in your project? I can tell you that maybe because we are here for quite a long period of time in the first place. In the second place, because we have several companies who partnered with us who are quite publicly opened, and again, you can reach out to them and check out whether we are a scam or not. And most important, I believe, is that our narrative when we started was not something hypish, and it's still not something really most interesting for investors. We're not stating anywhere the amount of the tokens you may get when you stake them. We do not really promise you some kind of profits. We are just doing a job that we believe is a good one, and we have some kind of vision. So I don't think we are the project that looks
I also
like.
believe it's a question about the projects on our chain, and I would say that compliance suite is built exactly to be able to verify both the users and companies that are running those projects. So SGI is purpose built for users protection as well. So yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the discussion, which is quite huge.
Yeah.
Can you please? Yeah.
Yeah, we
This
already
one
answered
already
that.
answered. Yeah. Any update regarding investing rules? No. Everything regarding investing is stated on the website, which is new. Check it out.
Or in the white paper. Yeah, and check out the new website, which we updated a couple of days ago.
It's fine.
Yeah, if you have any more data comments, feel free to reach out in our community. And we are looking forward to your feedback, in addition to the one that we already received, and we are working on it.
Yeah, I think there's only one update regarding investing that we should mention here, is that any people who participate in the tokens offering as part of the Reg D offering from US, which is a completely different thing, and I believe that most of the people would not be there. But if you would, you have 1 year cliff without vesting. So the different rules apply, but that's because of the way how the US regulation works. Okay. I believe that's mostly. Oh yeah. I see one more. Other are there any activities for new Swisstronik members before TG? Highly likely there will be some. Stay updated. I think we'll provide you with something interesting a couple of weeks before. So yeah, that's it. So actually, I think we can wrap it up. Again, thank you so much for attending these calls. We're always happy to be in them. And hopefully we'll see you next month, and stay updated for a lot of good things that are ahead, and specifically the dates. We'll try to share them in the following weeks. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and it's always a pleasure to see all of you on the call.
Yeah.
And read through and answer your questions. So
yeah, thank you guys, and happy 2025. And
yeah, until the next one.
Bye.